he put uh, a belt around my neck, and he started choking me.
When an elderly woman emerges from the woods barefoot, bruised, and covered in mud, authorities are stunned by her miraculous tale of survival. But the most shocking details are revealed as her would-be killer confesses, completely unaware that she's still alive.
I lost my man. She didn't deserve it.
The following footage has never been seen before. On August 18, 2024, detectives in Smithfield, Rhode Island are called to a hospital to speak with an 80-year-old woman who claims she was abducted from her own home.
I'm starting to put some of the groceries away, and I get a knock at the door.
Had you ever seen this man before?
Never. He says, let me in. I want your money and your jewelry, and I want your keys to your car.
Okay.
And I go, I don't know you. Don't come up. You're not coming in. So then he just pushes the door. I should have just ran to the other room and went out the porch.
Well, I don't
want
want you to think you did anything wrong here.
My God.
Okay, you didn't.
Doris, whose name has been changed to protect her identity, would go on to describe a waking nightmare and the quick thinking that ultimately saved her life. By her account, the harrowing ordeal began at her home in the town of Coventry, where local authorities arrived to perform a search.
Not too many signs of a disturbance, though.
Aside from a few scattered grocery bags, the elderly woman's home is neat as a pin, leaving the officers skeptical. For them, it's equally confusing that she's now in a hospital roughly 20 miles away in Smithfield.
She has a daughter that lives in Smithfield that she goes and visits the grandkids.
Okay.
So,
That's important.
yeah, whatever happened probably happened up there.
Well, Cunelli's on the phone with some sergeant in Smithfield who says her story to them is that she was getting out of her car in the driveway. Somebody accosted her, threw her in the trunk of her own car, and drove her to Smithfield. So they got a camera right there. I don't know if that caught anything. I don't know if there's anybody even here. But if she's got a daughter in Smithfield, I mean, is it just coincidental that they end up in Smithfield? You know?
They head across the street, where a woman who knows the building's owner makes a quick call about the security cameras. The owner agrees to meet them to review the footage, telling officers he's on his way.
I'm going to go with this didn't happen.
Well, I mean, again, it would be astonishing if she was kidnapped in broad daylight in her own driveway.
When the owner arrives, he takes them into his back office and pulls up the footage from the evening prior, which is when Doris claims the abduction occurred.
So we want to see her get in the car and drive away. That's what we love to see.
At roughly 8 p.m., Doris reverses her black Buick Encore into the driveway. Nothing seems out of the ordinary as she makes several trips inside, carrying in her groceries.
Now, I believe that she may have been abducted. I just don't think it was from here.
Clearly not. Unless over the next 10 seconds somebody runs up and pulls her out and throws her in the trunk.
But hidden in the footage is something the officers didn't notice, and it's deeply unsettling. Just 3 minutes after Doris pulled into her driveway, a green Chevy Impala passed her house. The same car can be seen moments later, parking across the street. The officers continue to watch her on camera as she unloads her groceries, while the man in the footage does the same from his rearview mirror. They fast forward, eventually seeing something that removes all doubt.
Whoa, I don't think that was her. What the hell? Oh.
Is that her right there?
No, she was abducted here. That wasn't her that got in the car.
Are you sure?
Why would she back up, drive over the curb, and go around?
Yeah.
And then there's another person.
I didn't see another person.
There's a there's a person that walks from the house.
All right, so now let's zoom out and see what the
After rewinding the footage, the full picture comes to light. As Doris finishes unloading her groceries, the green Chevy Impala drives away and disappears from view. Moments later, the driver can be seen walking down the street on foot. He walks up the neighbor's driveway before slipping behind a tree and into Doris's backyard. He then lingers before ringing the doorbell, and when no one answers, he heads around to the back door. From her hospital bed, Doris explains what happened once she finally answered and told him, quote, "You're not coming in."
And
The
he
house.
pushes me in the chest,
Okay.
and he makes me go in the kitchen like he's shoving me.
Okay.
And then he says, "I'll kill you, and I'll choke you and I'll kill you if you don't give me what I want."
Okay.
And I go, "What do you want?" And he says, he wants money.
Yeah.
And he wants my car keys.
Yeah.
And he wants the debit card. But it's kind of weird because he said, and this is after he choked me right here with his hand. He went like this. When he was in the house
Okay.
with me, he just
He grabbed you by the
squeezed
throat.
it so hard. I go, "Why are you doing that? Don't do that.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?"
From the outside, Doris's home seems relatively peaceful. Cars pass by completely unaware of what's happening to her inside the house.
He says, "You go, where's your jewelry?" I said, "It's upstairs." I said, "You can go and get it." Because I didn't want to go. And he said, "You're going." And he grabbed me. And he said, "You're going up the stairs." And I'm like, "Oh, God, I don't want to go in my bedroom. I'm afraid what he's going to do to me."
According to Doris, the man forced her to gather her jewelry, but after realizing it was worthless, he left it all behind. Doris herself would not be so fortunate.
He left the door open when he took me out. When he grabbed me to get me outside, put me in a trunk. Ay, ay, ay.
After taking her keys, the suspect can be seen going to Doris's car and opening the trunk. He then backs it into the bushes before eventually parking it behind them and out of view of the street. Moments later, he's seen forcing Doris to get inside.
I screamed like heck in the house a whole bunch of times, and he kept telling me, "Shut up, I'm going to kill you."
Okay.
And when I screamed, I figured
Somebody there.
it's somebody across the street because it's an exercise place and there's a whole bunch of
Okay.
stores, and somebody would hear me screaming, but
A faint scream can be heard on camera, but it's unclear whether this is truly the sound of Doris calling for help. Once Doris is in the trunk, the man tries several times to force it shut as she kicks against it from inside. Eventually, he gets it closed and drives away. According to Doris, she became sick and vomited in her own shoes. She'll later recount what happened next and how she barely escaped with her life. For now, after seeing what happened on camera, the officers are completely taken aback.
You gotta kidding me. Where the did he come from?
While more unsettling surveillance footage will eventually answer that question, a far more urgent one remains. Who is the suspect, and where is he now? After confirming her story, the officers enter her car into the NCIC database as stolen. While searching for leads, officers are directed to the neighbor's son, whom they're told have had ongoing conflicts with Doris.
Joey, what's the problem here?
Hey,
You want to ask you questions.
how you doing?
Ask me a question about.
Go ahead.
Your neighbor's house got broken into. Did you see anybody go over there?
Over there?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
No, I don't break into the house.
No, I didn't say you did. I'm trying. You might have seen somebody
Yeah,
walk
I keep
over there.
my business to myself.
Didn't see anybody walking around her yard.
Computer, because I'm a DJ for 2 2 days.
Okay.
All right, so
And I'm,
relax.
and
Let
I'm,
me ask you a
and I'm
question.
looking to get a job for $2,000 a night. I'm like a zombie. I got a passion for music. I don't know anybody, and they're nose bags. So you know what? Tell them to mind their business.
What's she complain about now?
The neighbor's
You know
house
what
got
she
broken
is?
into.
They're freaking asses.
And the neighbor's house got broken into, and the woman got taken.
It's not my problem.
Although this lead quickly falls apart, investigators catch a major break when Providence officers spot the stolen car in their city. However, when they attempt a traffic stop, the driver takes off. The brief pursuit ends at a house where the driver abandons the vehicle and disappears into a backyard. Backup arrives as an officer pursues the suspect on foot.
Hey, so I came around. I didn't see anything. I saw that screen door, so we could have went through there.
What about this?
So I haven't checked this yet, but somebody else will tell.
I'm pulling this.
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear anything.
All right.
That slides.
That's lots.
So he's probably in there because the. So that's all right. So the guys from the second floor said that there's somebody probably in their hallway. So he's probably
Let's go.
in there.
I'm gonna open.
Okay.
Well, organized with these.
Reinforcements arrive, including a K-9, as they prepare to breach the home with permission from the owner.
All right, take some. All right, stand by.
Let's go.
Let go.
Moving as a team, they head into the basement. At first, it appears empty, until they spot someone hiding in the corner of the room.
Hey, get your hands in! Right now! Hands up! Hands up! Come on! Stop! Everybody quiet! Way good! Way good! Good! We got one. One apprehended. One apprehended. That's good work.
The suspect is soon identified as 53-year-old Stephen Henning, a wanted man from Ohio who they'll soon learn has reached a dangerous breaking point. He's walked out to a cruiser where officers celebrate the capture.
Open the fuck.
So I think I on you.
I am the one.
After placing Stephen in a cruiser, they begin transporting him to a police station in Providence. On the way, the officer runs his information, finding that Stephen has an arrest history in their city.
How long ago was this? That picture right there? Can you see it? That's an old one, huh? What was that for?
Probably a stolen car.
Would you just get out of the ACI? How long were you there for? A year. For a stolen car? Man, you like stealing cars, huh?
But based on Doris's account and everything investigators have uncovered so far, it appears Stephen has escalated to far more dangerous crimes. What they don't yet realize is that his arrest just interrupted even more sinister plans. One of the Coventry officers who first checked Doris's home arrives at the scene, filling in Providence on the situation. As he explains what he saw on camera, they're interrupted by the owner of the home, where Stephen was just apprehended.
She comes out, gets stuff in the trunk. He's trying to slam the trunk on her leg.
Hi. Hello. How are you? Good, thank you. I'd just like to know what's going on.
Is this your house?
Yes.
The woman tells officers she knows Stephen and that he slept at her house just last night. According to her, the pair met on a dating app, and she's only known him for about a week.
When I first met him, he didn't have a car. Then he showed up here with the green car, said it was his aunt's car, that he was using it because she was in Florida.
Coventry officers located the green car abandoned down the street from Doris's house. The vehicle had also been reported stolen. Stephen is brought to an interrogation room where he's about to make a chilling confession, one that reveals how he met Doris, why he chose her, and the horrifying truth of what he was planning to do just before he was caught.
All right, we'll be back in a minute, okay? Yeah. Get your cigarette. Straight.
Oh God,
They bring Stephen a cigarette, light it for him, and allow him to smoke in the interrogation room. It seems to calm him down for now.
God help me, please. I'm gone.
Once the detective returns, he reads Stephen his Miranda rights, then begins by asking where he got the stolen black car. Stephen lies, claiming he found it idling in a driveway, jumped in, and drove off.
Let me back you up a little bit. What if I give you a little piece of information?
Go ahead.
That says I have you on video from a nearby neighbor, and there's an older woman.
Right.
Right, looks like she could be my grandmother, your grandmother.
Right.
Realizing the detective knows far more than he expected, Stephen makes an astonishing admission that changes the course of the interview.
You want to know where she's at? Or do you got her already?
Well, I know that there's more to the story than you just
I'm
jumped.
just telling you. I told you.
I wanna know your version, and just be honest with me.
She's dead.
What he doesn't seem to know is that Doris is still very much alive, but the detective doesn't correct him. Stephen explains that as he was driving around in the stolen green Impala, he realized it was only a matter of time before he was caught. He was searching for another car to steal when he ran into Doris, someone he believed would not be missed.
This lady was in Wendy's.
The old woman.
Yes.
So you were at Wendy's. Did you follow her to her
I
house?
followed her because I knew because she was getting a soda and she said her husband just had a heart attack.
You talked to her.
And
about
I said,
this?
yes. I said, do you live alone? And she was like, yeah, my husband just had a heart attack. So I said, all right, to myself, I said, if I follow her home, and I followed her to her house. I knew she was alone.
Surveillance footage captures the moment Stephen arrived at the Wendy's and pulled into a parking space. As he walks inside, Doris pulls in, parking just 3 spots away. After purchasing her meal, the 80-year-old woman can be seen lingering around the soda machines, appearing confused on how to operate it. Stephen offers to help, and the two stand around and chat. Stephen then returns to his car while Doris stays to enjoy her meal inside, not realizing that he's watching her through the restaurant window. When she finally leaves, her car rounds the corner, with Stephen following close behind.
I was driving around with the Impala, and I was looking for someone like that. I wanted to rob somebody that was alone so they wouldn't report. I already knew I was going to kill somebody to take their car. And I did turn out, I did it, but while I was doing it, I'm sorry, but my mind is up.
When Doris recounted her day to investigators, she shared that she first went to church to say a rosary for the sick, then stopped at Walmart before heading straight to her house. She has no memory of their encounter at Wendy's, believing the first time they met is when he forced his way inside her home. It was there he began asking her questions about her car.
I don't know why he asked me why, if my car was paid for or what. Why would he ask that stupid question? Do you own this car? Who owns it? I said, I do. It's in my name.
The car's hot. You're looking to dump that one, and you're looking to get a new one.
Right.
Okay. So that makes sense to me.
Right, I'm not lying to you. You got everything.
No, I don't think you're lying. I'm just trying to make it make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense because it. I'm so sorry. And I needed a car that wouldn't be reported stolen. I'm crying because of her. I'm not crying because I'm caught.
No.
Sorry, I don't fight with women. She was a poor innocent victim. And I killed her.
And as Doris recounts what happened after she was forced into the trunk, investigators begin to understand why Stephen is certain she's dead.
Well, he takes this thing that we have, a cover.
Yep.
And he puts that down over me, so I can't really breathe good, and I can't see anything. Well, I could see trees everywhere.
Okay, so look like kind of like
dirt road and a
dirt road and some trees.
They eventually arrived in a remote wooded area somewhere in Smithfield, where he forced her out of the car.
He put a belt around my neck, and he started choking me, and he starts pulling it. And I go, why are you doing that? You told me I could get my car back when you're at your destiny. He didn't say no more.
Stephen admits to choking her, but by his account, he used his bare hands.
When I choked her, I made sure I felt her. I know she was going lifeless.
I said to myself, I think I'm gonna pretend I'm dead while he's choking me and not breathe, like, in my heart, but I try to hold my breath so he think I'm dead.
Okay.
That's what I did, and God bless me, I made it back.
What did you do next?
Took her and dumped her.
Where?
Can I have another cigarette, please?
Absolutely.
Honestly, I'm not being an I'm telling you. I'm up, man.
I know.
Up.
I know.
The worst. It was so bad.
Doris believes that she must have passed out at some point because the next thing she remembers is waking up in the bushes in a disturbing state of undress.
Did you have your clothes on?
Well, no, he had my shirt up to here,
Okay.
like my bra showing.
Pulled up?
Yeah, pulled up.
Okay. And then how about pants? Did you have pants on?
No, he pulled them down. I guess he pulled them because they were down.
Okay.
Like, halfway down, like, before my knees.
Sure.
That's what panicked me when I see that.
You know, I wasn't vicious. I didn't her. I didn't do nothing like that.
How about this? I just want to ask you. Did you have underwear?
Yeah.
Were your underwear on?
Yeah, cotton. I always wear.
Okay. So you had underwear on. Your
I
pants
actually
were
had
pulled down.
underwear and a pad on.
You said, hey man, I didn't her or anything. Why would you say that? Did you think about it?
Absolutely not. I got nothing on my. I get women. Go look at my phone. Go look at all the women. No. I just wanted you to know that she's safe, not safe, but she didn't get tortured or. I just wanted you to know that
So
I didn't touch her at all.
When you did kill her, that was it.
That was it. I did no sack. No, hell no. I just wanted to tell you that
Okay.
you know, someone that usually takes somebody and kills somebody does torture them or something.
Right.
I'm telling you, I did it for the car. I didn't do it for. Look at my text on my phone. I was just meeting women just now.
Okay.
Like I just needed the car. I did not want. But I'm not a. You know, I killed her. I'm a murderer
No,
now. But I didn't touch the lady.
I'm asking because you said it.
Yeah,
That's
no, she's fine. She's fine. She didn't go through nothing. She didn't know nothing. She went quick, and then I'm being honest with you.
Police records make no mention of whether a forensic exam was conducted at the hospital, leaving the available records unable to confirm or rule out a sexual assault. Once Doris realized she had survived the violent encounter, she gathered the strength to get up and go for help.
And then at some point you get back to your feet?
Yep.
And now
so
you
I
start
get on
walking.
my knees, and then I said, okay, I'm going to grab the big tree on this side. Well, not a big tree, but big enough for me. And another little small one, and I grabbed the both of them.
Yep.
And then I pull myself up.
Okay.
And I go, thank you, God, I'm out of here. I'm going to go home.
Doris then wandered out of the woods and into a neighborhood, ringing the doorbell of a stranger's home. The resident who answered gave her a cup of water and called the police on her behalf. Stephen, believing he left her body in the bushes, tells investigators exactly where to find her and reveals what he was planning to do next.
She's where the chase started. I was going to bury her. There's a shovel in the truck.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hit you.
All right.
Surveillance footage captured Stephen buying a shovel from a Dollar General shortly after leaving the victim in the woods. According to the female cashier, while purchasing the shovel, Stephen stated, "The next time I come in here, I'm going to ask if you're single." The shovel was later found in the back seat of Doris's car. As Stephen continues, he lets another critical confession slip.
I want to go try and find this woman, right? Because she's somebody's mom. Like
I know.
I don't think. Listen, I know that you said you're up, all right? But a up person doesn't sit here and talk to me like that.
Me up. They stole all my killed. I was in a bad accident in Ohio. I had a hip replacement. The accident wasn't our fault, so I got $190,000, and my girl got $500, and she took my $190, and then I just snapped. I wanted to kill her too. She was going to get killed. Yes.
Who's
Michelle.
So you were.
She was next. I was taking that car to Ohio. After I buried the lady, I was going to go kill her.
According to Stephen, in addition to Michelle allegedly taking his money from the injury settlement, he claims he caught her cheating on him with her ex-husband, and he confronted her before leaving Ohio.
So I had a .45. I got charged with a shooting in Ohio, shooting in a prohibited area and everything. Yep. So anyway, I got the gun, and I put it to her head. Yep. She crawled up on the bed and started crying, so I threw the gun on the floor and I hugged her. And I said, "I'm so sorry. Just give me my money. That's all I want is my money." It's all true, man. I'm not lying to you. That's what made me do this. I don't got a record of violence. Look at my shit. Oh, God. No domestics. I never heard of, and I'll pay for this for that lady. I know what I did.
Had Doris not survived her ordeal in the woods, and had security cameras not corroborated her story, it's possible Stephen could have carried out his plans to return to Ohio and end Michelle's life.
I can understand why you want to kill Michelle, because to me that makes sense.
The lady didn't have nothing to do with it. I just needed the car. You know, I can't even say sorry. I deserve this. I want her to be found.
Okay.
Get her off the ground.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It wasn't her fault. It's me. I'm scumbag. I'm sorry.
Investigators collect Stephen's clothes for evidence and bring him more cigarettes. Meanwhile, Coventry detectives are called in, as he'll need to go to their station for further questioning. It's in their interrogation room that he'll ultimately learn that Doris survived.
I lost my man. She didn't deserve it. She was a nice lady. It's fucking evil. It's inside me now, and I'll never be able to forget it.
Coventry officers arrive and take custody of Stephen, who continues crying as they reach the elevator. When he finally reaches their interrogation room, the truth is laid bare.
I have some news for you. We did find her. She's alive.
God, thank you. I don't care if they give me life. I don't care. I'm glad she's alive. Oh my God.
She's alive.
Okay.
I had an opportunity to talk to her.
Oh my God.
That's why it took so long.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
But the detective isn't satisfied that he's told them the whole story, as he neglected to explain why she woke up with her clothing disheveled and failed to mention he used his own belt to strangle her.
I was totally intoxicated. Some things I forgot. She can tell you that. I was bombed. So I drank a lot.
Okay.
Because they got the nerve to do that. So if I forgot something or whatever, to do something like that, it wasn't me, Steven, sober. It wasn't me. I got drunk on purpose to show it.
Okay, so you were really intoxicated?
Yes.
Did you take any drugs?
I smoked some weed and did some meth.
Okay. So weed, meth, and alcohol.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I invited you.
I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Stephen's memory appears to return as he finally admits to using the belt in his attempt to end her life. This belt was later recovered from a trash can at the Providence police station.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Not being a piece of
Yeah.
I don't know how she survived. I choked her so many times that I don't know how she survived.
I don't need that.
Sir, I don't. She's a strong woman, and I know I was scum. And I was so drunk and I'm scared. And you know, I was on the run. You check my record. Everybody's looking for me.
She prayed a lot.
Oh my God.
I kept saying prayers in my head, please God, just let me get through this, you know, and I go home to my family.
Yeah.
No matter what he does, I want to go home.
Thank God, I'm sorry. That wasn't me. Look at my record. I got no violence on it.
Well, the good news is you don't have a murder on it.
Okay.
That's what we have. That's the good news, right?
No, but there goes the sheet of life. I don't care about the time. I need help, man. This ain't me, these tattoos. This is all fake. My brother did this for me at the house. I'm not even a tough guy like that. I don't get the message. And I did it. I keep picturing what I did to her, and it's me insane. I'm not a monster. I am a monster. How do I fix being what I did? How? I don't know how to live with it.
One step at a time.
I'm so numb. It's killing me.
One step at a time. All right, hold on.
Despite Stephen's claims that alcohol and drugs fueled his actions, the detective explains that his behavior suggests a level of planning and awareness that's difficult to ignore. He knew he needed another car to avoid police, intended to return to Ohio to murder his girlfriend, held a coherent conversation with the 80-year-old woman at Wendy's, followed her home, and carried out the disturbing events that followed.
I just want to make sure I'm
I'm not trying to make a drunk defense or anything. I'm guilty. I did what I did, man. I'm just trying to tell you about me. I'm not trying to deny this camera and everything. I'm not trying to deny the crime.
Okay.
I'm just trying to tell you that I was out of my mind and I ain't normally me.
The detective then gives him an opportunity to record an apology for Doris on camera.
I I'm so sorry. I know that's not going to make up for it, but I promise you I'm sorry.
In a Facebook post made by the Coventry Police Department, they praised Doris for her bravery, stating, "What she went through is the stuff nightmares are made from, and yet she is probably the strongest and bravest person our detectives have ever met." According to court documents, Stephen Henning pleaded guilty to 11 offenses, which include first-degree robbery, breaking and entering, kidnapping, assault with a dangerous weapon, and 2 counts of assault on a person over the age of 60. He was sentenced to 55 years, with 20 years suspended, plus a consecutive 10-year habitual offender sentence. In the same Facebook post, the Coventry Police Department said of the victim, "May she breathe a little easier, knowing this offender will spend the next 45 years behind bars." Watch our full videos as they were originally made, with no randomly muted words or details cut. We've also dropped brand new EWU videos available only on EWU Plus.
And I just realized when I was taking a pee that the word they use for me is homicidal maniac. But that's the correct term, right?
It was one of the most brutal killing sprees in all of Maine's history, sending shockwaves through the small town of Amity. Fortunately, and to the relief of the townspeople, it wasn't long before a suspect in the triple homicide was apprehended. However, the motive they gave behind the killings is one of the most bizarre and unbelievable, leaving investigators questioning how much was fact and how much was twisted fiction. Entangled amongst the killer's countless outrageous statements is the remaining question. Was it a revenge slaying, so-called vigilante justice, or a senseless crime carried out by a cold-blooded murderer who just wanted to know what it was like to kill? Referring to Amity, Maine as a tiny town is a bit of an understatement. There were only 238 residents back in 2010, and with the savagely brutal killings, the count was further reduced by 3 on the night of June 22nd. With one crime, Amity's innocence had been stolen, and things would never be the same. On June 23rd, 30-year-old Jason DeHaan's brother became worried when he hadn't returned home from his friend 55-year-old Jeff Ryan's house, where he had spent the previous evening. He decided to go to Jeff's house himself. At first, there was no sign of either of them. That is, until he used a flashlight to look through the window of Jeff's mobile home. He caught sight of a large amount of blood and immediately called his father, Robert DeHaan, to inform him of the shocking discovery. Robert soon arrived, and together the two men made their way inside. The home was hauntingly still. At first glance, it appeared that no one was there. Robert made his way to one of the bedrooms, and that was where he encountered the first horrific sight. Jeff's 10-year-old son, Jesse Ryan, was clearly deceased, lying on the floor of the bedroom, and it was immediately apparent that the little boy's last moments had been horrific. At this point, the men notified authorities. Maine State Police troopers soon responded, and it wasn't long before the other two victims were located nearby. Jeff's body was found in a shed on the property, and they found Jason's mutilated body had been abandoned at the end of the driveway. Initially, Jeff's truck was nowhere to be found. A few days later, it was located approximately 15 miles from his home. It had been set on fire, apparently to destroy any evidence the assailant had left behind. The whole situation was impossible to swallow. Initially, it appeared to have been a random ambush. There was no other explanation as to how these individuals had been chosen. For the first time, the town lived in fear. A homicidal maniac was on the loose, potentially roaming the streets, preparing to attack again. It was imperative that the killer be found immediately before any additional lives could be taken. A wealth of evidence was gathered from the crime scene. Amongst the items collected were beer bottles and cigarette butts, as well as fingerprints, and most importantly, the DNA profile of an unknown male was found. While a variety of law enforcement agencies were hard at work on the case, an elderly couple, Robert Bob Strout and Joy Strout, sat for an interview with a local newspaper. The pair had connections with one of the victims, Jeff Ryan. Bob and Joy's daughter, Tamara Strout, had a teenage daughter with Jeff. Their granddaughter had just lost her father, and though it didn't initially seem there was any other connection to the ongoing case, one would soon emerge. Detectives conducted numerous interviews, which eventually revealed someone had been staying with Bob and Joy Strout for a few weeks, including at the time of the killings, a young man by the name of Thane Ormsby. You see, Thane's mother was good friends with the Strout's daughter, and Thane moved in with the couple to help them around the house, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of their pheasants and other birds. Since he was at the Strouts' home at the time of the killings, police believed that Thane could have witnessed something potentially helpful for the case. The thing was, at the time of the investigation, Thane was no longer living with Bob and Joy. Luckily, the couple knew exactly where he was. Thane had made a recent move to Dover in Maine's neighboring state of New Hampshire. There he was now living with Bob and Joy's son, which made tracking him down even easier for detectives. Maine State Police detectives spoke to Thane at the residence on June 29th, 1 week after the killings, and asked him a few questions. At the time, Thane agreed to provide his fingerprints and a sample of his DNA during the course of the meeting. On July 2nd, the detectives returned to the residence where Thane was staying. They asked if he'd be willing to speak with them at a Dover, New Hampshire police station, and he obliged. They had a feeling he knew more than he'd originally let on, though he was being cooperative so far. With that, the interview gets underway. The majority of the following interrogation footage has never been seen before.
Because you know the family better than anybody, right?
I'll do my best. I don't know that I know them better than anybody, but
Well, you know them better than I do. That's
perhaps.
you know. No, we talked to a lot of people. You know, we talked to Tamara, obviously, Mariah.
You might recall that Tamara is the daughter of Bob and Joy Strout. Mariah is the daughter of Tamara and Jeff Ryan, one of the murder victims.
Then I talked to Tanya.
Note that Tanya is another daughter of Bob and Joy. She actually holds a significant place in this story because the interview the detective has just referred to was precisely how they learned that Thane had been staying with Bob and Joy for the past few weeks, prior to his recent move to New Hampshire.
She's a piece of work, you know.
Oh, yeah.
She thought I was this cat's ass. She thinks you're gorgeous, by the way.
I know.
Oh, really?
You'll notice right off the bat that Thane really is a piece of work, for lack of a better way to describe him. However, the detectives are savvy. Don't let their unassuming demeanors fool you. It's all an act to get Thane to talk, and talk he does.
Guys like you make me feel old, because I've been in this criminal division here for 20 years.
Yeah.
And you're 20.
And I'm
so. Oh, what? You don't want
You've
to?
been working this.
I
hope I didn't mix these up.
Find out.
Yeah, you'll know
Where's yours?
No, fine. Make that. I'll be going to the bathroom in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They continue the small talk and keep the conversation lighthearted. Have faith, though. There's a method behind this madness.
He's Dale Keegan, and you're
Adam Stoudemeyer.
Adam Stoudemeyer.
Yeah.
You're from New Hampshire.
Kittery.
Yeah,
Practically New Hampshire. Actually, you say that. I was born at the hospital in Portsmouth, so.
Okay.
The detectives continue to build rapport because they know that pushing too quickly could cause Thane to stop talking or ask for a lawyer. Clearly, though, Thane is enjoying the conversation, or maybe it's just the sound of his own voice or being the center of attention. They touch on a variety of subjects, and Thane has a lot to contribute.
And what really went wrong is I got engaged. That's what went wrong.
Who'd you get engaged to?
Cindy Courier. And she
Courier.
left me for my best friend 2 weeks before the wedding.
This particular tangent, like each of the others thus far, is completely unrelated to the reason for this meeting. Though it may not appear so, the interview is off to an excellent start. The detectives did their homework, and they obviously know what makes Thane tick, how he views himself, and how he wants others to view him. This helps them determine the best way to approach him, and will hopefully cause him to let his guard down and reveal the truth. An intriguing question soon makes its way into the conversation as they continue this little session of getting to know one another.
What person in your life do you think you most respect?
Person in my life, living person.
Yeah, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Andrew Beardsley.
Who's that?
He was my coach, mentor, I consider him, and literature teacher in high school. And he's the nephew to Bill Beardsley, who's just running for governor.
Okay, I was wondering if there was a
connection with Husson College. He did his college thesis on Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
He taught a class on Tolkien. I took a class on Tolkien. I love The Lord of the Rings. Somewhere early in The Hobbit. The Hobbit's my favorite book.
Thane shows us a bit of his scholarly side here.
I'm like, I don't get it. You watch that?
Yeah.
Zero. Yeah.
Well, there's this more.
Is that the one with Precious, the little Precious? That guy,
Yeah, that
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Nothing to do with the other show there.
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
No.
Different breed.
Different.
And the detectives continue to let him talk. They feed his ego as they play up his intellect and downplay their own. After sufficient time has been invested in efforts to build a strong rapport, the detective cuts to the chase and the moment this has all been building towards. He confronts Thane with a direct question.
So what about this case here? We'll start off the beginning here. What type of person do you think would do this?
No, I haven't given that much thought.
Yet, if a serious crime happens in a small town to people you know, and as a result you're sitting in an interrogation room, it's hard to believe you haven't given it a lot of thought. Though he isn't really showing it, Thane is likely feeling some level of stress, which would be normal given the circumstances. His hands have been touching since he entered the room, and while it's possible this is simply a comfortable and a typical position for him, it may be a self-soothing behavior due to feelings of stress.
Someone would have to be cold, greedy maybe, I don't know. Someone would have to be just heartless. I mean, I never met his son, Mariah's little brother, but who could do that?
Well, you never know. I mean, the biggest thing that we don't understand is reasons. I mean, there's a reason for everything, and mistakes happen. And that's why even a computer has a delete key,
Right.
Mistakes happen. Wrong place, wrong time, panic, self-defense, who knows? And you're well aware of the Constitution and all that stuff, right?
Well aware of the
Well aware of the Constitution and your rights and all that stuff. Do you understand you're not under arrest?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. If you ever want to leave, you just tell me. All right, all I ask is don't be rude about it. Just say things
I mean,
that...
I'd be a little bit shocked if I were under arrest, to tell you the truth.
So would I. But so.
And I'm here to cooperate.
Well, that's right. That's right. But and I appreciate that. I know you know your rights and all that stuff. One of the formalities that we have to do is to
tell me
read your rights. Okay. You can probably recite it better than I can.
I don't know that I could recite it.
Right, but you understand it though.
The detectives intentionally downplay the formalities, and Thane seems to think he has this one in the bag. We're about to see, however, that this definitely isn't the case. After the short detour for Miranda warnings, the detective picks right back up where he left off.
Formalities, right?
Right.
So, where were we? We were talking about what type of person would do that. You said cold, greedy, heartless.
Someone just with no love for life, no love for things that grow. Yeah. And I mean, what we know about Tolkien and Tolkien's writing, you seem like you know a little bit more about Tolkien. It's you know, his main themes are hope and hopelessness and a love for things that grow.
Interesting. And this brings us to the next question, as the detective once again pulls Thane back in from his most recent departure from the topic.
What should happen to the person when we find him?
What should happen?
When we find the bad guy, what should happen?
Well, I imagine you're going to read him his rights, formality,
Right.
and lock him away.
You think he should go to jail?
Of course. Yeah.
Well, unless there's a good reason. Can you think of any good reason something like this could happen?
A good reason?
Yeah. Do you think of any reason? I mean, again, we don't understand reasons. You know, just because they did something like this doesn't mean you got to go to jail for all your life, you know? But just, can you think of any good reason for something like this to happen?
I cannot think of any good reason something like that could happen.
So far, he isn't able to provide a reason. Not yet, at least. The detective travels back several years and inquires about an event that seems to have had a profoundly negative impact on Thane.
You lived with Uncle Steve. You were at Uncle Steve's and through the high school years?
That's right.
Okay. So obviously things were not going good with your mom during this.
Age 12 up to age 17.
Anything significant happened at age 12 to make you want to move out from mom to go with Uncle Steve?
Well,
Anything significant?
it wasn't my choice. It was a matter of DHHS or DHS, Department of Health and Human Services.
He claims that he was allegedly abused by his mother, which resulted in him being removed from her care at age 12 and into his uncle's home until he was 17. It's possible that Thane is exaggerating or even fabricating his history of alleged abuse as a ploy for sympathy. The detectives touch on high school and how that ended for Thane. This may be a sore subject, considering his inflated view of his high level of intelligence.
So you graduated in 08?
That was the class of 08.
Yeah. And you graduated from Ellsworth High School?
I didn't graduate.
Why you didn't graduate there? What happened there?
That's a long story, too.
We got plenty of time. Yeah, plenty of time and coffee and even candy bars if you want one.
No. Okay. Senior year rolls around. I've got my car and my license and almost all of my credits.
You've likely noticed by now that Thane's word usage is atypical. Because he didn't finish high school, perhaps Thane is trying to make up for it by using a higher level vocabulary to appear as smart or smarter than the detectives.
Ellsworth was a school system that changed their systems, treated us like guinea pigs, and treated us like we were in prison cells.
If what Thane is saying has any truth to it, you'd think he'd make every effort possible to avoid ending up in a prison cell. Bear in mind, though it's not always the case, a troubled childhood can lead to legal issues later on in life.
You know, I started partying. That was my whole party phase. It pretty much started and ended at 17. Really. He did some stupid stuff.
What was the stupidest thing you ever did?
Stupid.
Even if you didn't get caught. Stupid.
Oh no, I got caught. And I always get caught.
You always get caught?
Oh yeah. It's the weirdest thing. Anything I ever do, there's always someone looking, you know? And it's just like, why do anything wrong?
Yeah.
This is an interesting question here. Needless to say, detectives can see past this facade.
We stole a gun from my friend's house. This same Michael, who is now marrying my ex-fiancée in the same very church that we were getting married in. Yep. And what had happened is I turned myself in. I found out the police were looking for me. I said, okay. I walked right in and said, hi, my name's Thane Ormsby, and I'm here to turn myself in.
What'd you get for a punishment?
Probation.
Promise not to do it again.
Basically, yeah. Well, I mean, I was underage, and it was my first offense.
Thane is trying to appear as if he was a criminal during that short-lived phase, but quickly returned to his law-abiding ways. Turning himself in, as he just alleged, was likely a self-serving behavior, possibly to receive a lesser punishment, rather than because he was truly remorseful for his actions. This appears to be an attempt to self-promote and make himself seem like he does the right thing. He likely told the detective this story in an attempt to control how they see him. If he's honest about this story, he may believe that he will then appear like he's always honest. After this most recent digression, the detective refocuses the conversation, and as you'll see, Thane's demeanor changes significantly. Maybe it's because this topic makes him uncomfortable.
Okay, let's talk about how you met Jeff.
He came over to Bob and Joyce.
Okay, do you remember when that was?
Early when I got there, a couple days after I got there.
Thane's posture changes here. He's slouched and leaning forward now, appearing tense and concerned, where before he appeared casual and calm. A change in demeanor such as this could be a sign of deception. He might think that he needs to look the detective in the eye in order to sound truthful.
And tell me about that conversation. How'd that go?
We didn't really have a conversation. I mean, he came in and he talked to Bob and Joy, and I was there.
And you knew at this point that he is Mariah's father.
Yeah, I know.
And you guys hit it off? I hit it off?
Yeah, we get along. We were cool. He said, you know, come on over, blah, blah, blah.
How long was he there and stuff?
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
Was 20 minutes.
Was the little boy not there at this point?
No. He was with his mother.
It's not long before Thane takes Jeff up on the invite and makes a visit to his home.
How long ago after the first visit were you up there?
A week.
About a week later?
About a week later.
Okay. And what's going on when you're up there this week later?
It's just Jeff. Jeff's alone drinking a beer, mowing his lawn.
Outside?
Outside.
And how was Jeff doing?
Jeff was doing good. Jeff was talking about his son, saying he was going to be back.
So this was about a week before this happened? Because you only lived up there 3 weeks, you said, right?
Yeah, it's all such a short proximity.
Right. So you were there, you met him, and then about a week later you go out. So that would have been a week before this whole thing happened. You were there, and he's mowing the lawn.
He's mowing the lawn.
The detectives are really beginning to focus in on all of the details, and Thane's attitude has noticeably changed.
So you're there, and what goes on? He's mowing the lawn. He stopped mowing.
He's mowing the lawn. He stopped mowing the lawn, talked to me, invited me in, said, have a beer. I had a beer with him. I sat and drank a beer with him. Joy actually called. Joy knew I was there. Called me and told me, come back and help me with the garden.
So how did you get there?
How did I get there? I walked up.
You walked up?
Yeah, it's a short distance.
You didn't take your bike?
No.
Okay.
Though it's not quite clear yet, everything is beginning to come together.
I'm a visual guy. Can you draw the trailer for me and say where you went in that trailer? Because it's important to see where you went and all that stuff. Can you do that for me?
He showed me around.
Sure.
Yeah, right there.
Despite his claim of being a visual guy, there's much more to this seemingly simple request. Having a suspect draw something instead of simply stating it is a step in the read technique that solidifies the statements the suspect is making, so there's less confusion and more detail. This also makes it harder to retract statements later. The detectives can also use the drawing to point out specific things when they start confronting him.
So like I said, I was walking down the road and he was mowing his lawn right around here somewhere. And we walked in and were talking, and I met his dog. I walked over and petted his dog. I walked in and we told me to come on in, grab a beer, and then he's got chairs here. We sat down here. It was a hot day. We came back outside, sat down here. That was it.
How long were you there, do you think?
Half hour.
And he had already showed you around the place before this, you said?
He showed me his house, yeah.
Before this visit?
For this visit? No, this is the visit. There were only, all right.
There was at least 2 visits, as you said. The very first time you met him, you went down and had a beer. Then you said, I asked you if it was the second or third visit that this happened, and you said it was the second visit.
I'll be straightforward because there's no reason I can't.
I appreciate that.
And this is where his story begins to change.
I do have a bicycle.
Right.
I know this much.
Okay.
But there are only 2 occasions I've met Jeff.
Uh-huh.
The one where he comes down to the house.
Right.
And I combine those 2 occasions.
Okay.
A week later, I come back.
And you're on your bike this time?
And I'm on my bike this time.
Uh-huh.
And I ride my bike, but I ride my bike on the road.
Right.
And I ride it on the wall. Okay. And I park it right here somewhere.
Okay.
It seems Thane didn't think his story through before coming in for the interrogation. It's becoming confusing, and the detectives are catching all of his inconsistencies.
You said the very first time he met you, you asked him to get a job and stuff, and he said, come on.
2 different occasions. I combined the 2 in one, just to be simple.
No, each time you were here. How many times you were at this house?
Once.
Once.
I've only been there once. I've been to his house once, and it was just Jeff.
And this time here, he shows you around.
And he shows me around.
So the first time you said you went there after you had that very first time you met him.
I said, but really that was the week later.
Why would you do that? Why would you confuse me like that? I confuse easy.
Because it's irrelevant. Because it's...
Well, it's not really irrelevant because we got 3 people dead. So that's why it makes it very relevant.
I understand.
Especially when people are not telling the truth.
I understand. But, I mean, I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Thane's unreasonable explanation is a clear red flag for deception, indicating he may be trying to hide something about this topic. But the question is why? As well, giving conflicting statements is a sign of deception. Liars often have a difficult time keeping track of what they've said, and detectives are trained to spot these inconsistencies. When a detective points out a lie to a suspect, they may go into what is called the death spiral of a lie. This is when the liar tries to provide a reason for the lie. The detective points out flaws in that explanation or how it is inconsistent with prior statements. So the person tries to defend their lie again, which adds more layers to it, and the cycle continues. Eventually, the liar may wear down because it's so stressful to keep pitching and defending their lies when the other person clearly isn't buying it. He continues to dig a deeper hole for himself, and it's going to be difficult to climb his way out.
But you also said you only were there that one time, and it was the same.
I was only there one time. I said it was the same event. To be simple.
Okay, I don't want simple anymore.
You
All
don't
right,
want simple.
I want straightforward.
To be straightforward, it was 2 events that I met Jeff Ryan.
Okay.
Once where he came to Bob and Joy's, and I did not go to his house that day.
All right.
A week later, I come back to double check with him.
Then there's the question about the bike.
When was the bike ride when you were up the driveway? Because we found bike prints up there. That's why when I asked you the other day if you had a bike, you said no. Today I asked you if you had a bike, you said no.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused. Why didn't you tell me you had a bike
Why
when I
did
asked
I
you?
tell you I had a bike? Because
But we saw bike prints there.
I heard stories about biker gangs, and I didn't want to be confused with
No, I asked you the other day pedal bike.
pedal bike. Okay, pedal bike.
You
Yeah, I have a
pedal.
pedal bike.
Right.
Now that excuse is so unbelievable, it's almost comical. The question is, does Thane think that the investigators are buying it? As the detectives are now entering the more intense phase of the interrogation, they will be confronting Thane on inconsistencies using the evidence they have not yet revealed to him.
So you only went up that only up that drive on your bike one time?
One time.
Okay. Why are we finding a couple different trips up through there and another trip through the woods on a bike and footprints going through the woods? Why are we finding that? Are you confused and maybe you forgot a time that you were up in there with the bike? Did we get your path there, the canine and all that stuff? I mean, did you forget that? It's okay if you did. I'm just trying to see when we back these ones here coming out in front of that. You forget that?
No. That was just, I'd just gone over to check out the junkyard.
Where's the junkyard?
It's right beside Bob and Joy's.
Thane is acting as if the issue is that the detective isn't understanding his story, when, in reality, it's his story that's no longer holding up. It's not uncommon for someone caught in a lie to try to make it seem that the listener is the problem, as a way to deflect attention off of their lies.
You only had one beer in that house, you said.
One beer.
And it was a Budweiser bottle.
Budweiser bottle.
And you said to me the other day, you drank it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thane doesn't realize it, but he's falling right into a trap.
What happened then, after you drank that beer?
I told you I left it on the counter in the sink. I don't recall.
You left it in the counter or in the sink?
On the counter or in the sink.
Oh, on the counter or in the sink. You smoke. Do you have any smokes in the house?
Smoke?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Smoke any cigarettes in the house?
In his house?
Yeah, Jeff's house.
I smoked one of his cigarettes.
Was it brown filter, white filter?
It must have been a brown filter.
If I told you it was white, would that screw you up?
Yeah? I don't know.
You said you never met the little boy.
Never met the little
Okay. Did he want you to meet the little boy?
He never made.
Like, I can't wait for Junior to come out. I want
He
Junior to
was. That's what he was telling me when we were talking on the porch. He was saying, "I hope I'm gonna go get him. You know, I think he'll be back for the summer."
Though the relevance might not be clear just yet, all of these questions are important, and Thane continues to give wrong answers.
Did you ever play horseshoes down in this area?
Nope.
The horseshoe pits are right here, right? Remember that?
I didn't even see the horseshoe pits.
You didn't see the horseshoe pits? Okay.
When you say he showed you the house, did you go through the house? Did you take it room by room, or did you just say?
Did you go down in here?
No.
So you've never ever been down that hallway? So there's no way in hell that your DNA is going to be down in this area anywhere?
No.
Is what you're telling me.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. And there's no way in hell that your DNA is going to be back in here anywhere?
Unbeknownst to Thane, detectives are armed with some damning evidence. They know that a fingerprint from one of the evidentiary beer bottles was matched to Thane. In addition, his DNA profile was matched to the beer bottle as well as a cigarette collected from an ashtray at Jeff's residence. Their intention here is to increase stress and hint that they may have evidence that Thane was there, hoping it will make him lose resolve and confess.
You had a cigarette. What happened to the cigarette? You smoked it, you said.
I smoked it. I might have put the butt in my back pocket or thrown it out.
Because you said you're kind of not horny about leaving butts around.
Yeah.
You told me that in the car the other day, right? But you actually smoked a cigarette. Okay? And have you ever been on these streets up in this area?
Nope.
So this event here, where you were inside, was about a week before this murder happened.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2 weeks.
The foundation has been built, and the detective's intuition confirms that this is the precise time to implement the first step of the Reed technique, a positive confrontation. Watch as the overconfident Thane is reduced to a deer in headlights.
Never met Jason.
Never met Jason either.
Well, now we have a problem.
Why?
All right. Inside that trailer, there's a bottle sitting there, 3 bottles. And in that trailer also, we have your DNA and fingerprints on one of the bottles.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe you're mistaken about why that happened. But I want you to straighten it out now, okay? See this picture?
Yes.
3 bottles, right? Mm-hmm. This one's yours. One of these is Jason, and one of these is Jeff.
The detective confronts Thane with details of the indisputable evidence they have obtained.
On Monday, before the murder, there was a party. People cleaned after the party, because I talked to the ones who did it. Those bottles were not there Monday night. Yeah. Your bottle's there, your fingerprints on that matched with the fingerprint I got the other day. Your DNA is in that bottle. Explain that to me. Doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
No, I mean...
But I'm saying, why is it that
I put
2 weeks ago...
I set my bottle either here or here in the sink.
But you see my problem. This bottle here belongs to Jason, who you never met.
Whom I've never met.
The beer's half full. The beer's half full. The beer's half full.
I thought I finished my beer.
But it couldn't have been. Even if you did finish the beer, let's say that bottle's empty. They cleaned the house after the party on Monday. That bottle would have been moved. No way in hell that bottle sat there for 2 weeks. If anything, it sat there for a couple hours.
There was a party at the house on Monday, which was thoroughly cleaned up after. The detective has essentially trapped Thane with the evidence of a bottle with his DNA, because it couldn't have been from the party, due to it being cleaned up. Instead, it had to have been from after, around the time of the murders.
So we have a problem with that. I need you to explain to me why it is that beer bottle's there a couple hours or at the time of the murder. If you have a logical explanation, now's the time to spit it up. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong, but we need to know why that bottle is there, why you were in that house a couple hours before the murder.
Unfortunately for Thane, he doesn't have a logical explanation.
That's not.
No, you know. You just don't want to tell me. And it doesn't mean you killed him, all right? But it means go one step at a time. How was that bottle there? Your fingerprint from your left index finger is on that bottle, and your DNA is in that liquid right there. But as we're talking to you right now, we're talking to Big Bob up in Amity, Bob and Joy. Okay?
It will come as no surprise when you later see that a crucial element from Bob's account is contradictory to that of Thane's.
He says that you were up there Wednesday morning, Bob, but Bob says that. Tell me about that bottle, how that bottle was up there. You always get caught. You say, and every time you ever get in trouble, you say, hey, you walk into the police station, here I am, this is it. That shows me you're a man of integrity, you're a very intelligent man, and the politics and all that stuff. You seem the type of guy that's very right, straightforward, and I just like, no, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You were there just before the murder, or when this accident happened, all right?
But it was clearly no accident. The level of brutality combined with the gruesome nature of the wounds will leave no room for a claim that the killings were anything but cold and calculated.
Thane, it's okay.
You have my DNA?
Yes, but can you explain how, tell me about what you did while you were there.
Well, I drank half a beer.
Right?
And with that admission, Thane's story has significantly changed. It wasn't a week or two, but rather the very day the murders occurred that Thane has admitted to being in Jeff's home. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Tell me about Jason. You met him. This is his ball.
That's his ball.
Right. Did you only meet him the one time?
Honestly?
Yeah. I want the truth.
Straightforward.
During this event?
During this event.
Okay. What night was that? Or what day was that?
Tuesday.
Tuesday evening? Okay, tell me what happened Tuesday evening there.
How'd you get there? My bicycle.
Okay.
And those are the tracks.
Yeah.
Right up the driveway.
Where was Jeff when you got there?
Inside.
What time of day was it? You said it was evening. I mean, was it dark? Was it?
Not dark.
Jeff was inside. Was Jason inside?
Inside.
Jason was inside.
They
Was the little boy inside?
At the counter, having a beer. Inside, playing TV.
You didn't know the boy was there, did you? The boy was so bad playing Nintendo or something. You didn't see. You didn't know he was there when you first got there.
The detective makes use of the board once again. This is a perfect example of how drawing the scene can help to lock a suspect into their story.
Now, you pedal up here to the bike. Where do you park your bike?
Right against the car.
Right there. Okay, that's good. That explains the little scratch we found there. Okay. So, you go inside. You're sitting at the bar with Jason and...
I'm sitting at the table.
Life is good at this point, right? When you walked in, were they okay to see you?
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they offer you a beer?
Yeah.
You go to the refrigerator and get the beer?
Yeah.
It seems what Thane is saying so far may be true, and knowing this just makes the surreal situation that much more disturbing. The men had no idea they were sipping what would be the last beers of their lives.
And you're having a smoke. At this point, you have a smoke. Right?
Yeah, I smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. You had at least 2 cigarettes.
That's right, I was smoking Black Hawks that night.
Yeah.
With the white pots.
Right.
You know more than I do.
I know everything.
Yeah.